brutal here at the Houston, Texas Regional. My goodness, after 10 rounds of Swiss, we have cleared World Police for the world again, man.
Yes, that's me, Michael Tamez, 10-round regional, 556 players in here. I think this was the biggest Texas regional I think they said they ever had. I believe that's what they said. Yeah, it's been a crazy event. Honestly, from round 1 to the end, it did start a little later than normal, but it's been a good tournament. Let's get some shout outs real quick. Shout out the D-Boys Discord. Obviously, that's the group we test with a lot. Shout out to Opposition Gaming from Dallas. Shout out my boy Alfred. He's sitting over there on the couch over there just chilling. Shout out Robert Hernandez, who also topped as well. He beat me in Swiss, so I wasn't the first place person, but he lost last round. We'll see what happens. Christian as well, the person I beat in Swiss 2. He's also from Dallas, I believe. He also did finish X1 too. So I think all 3 of us are guaranteed topping this, so let's see how it goes. Shout out everyone else who helped me with this deck. Any other cards here? I know for sure that Travis helped me with this one. I couldn't find a second big eye in time. Shout out Miles, Valentino, all of Houston, honestly. Miles helped me out with this card right here. Alex Cancel, Dom Couch, all the people that helped me out with testing and everything. Appreciate everyone and led me here to helping out with this regional.
Yes, please show us your dude.
So we're playing pure Kashtira. We're playing Dryden Pass. So we're starting out with the Kashtira lineup. 3 unicorns, self-explanatory, 3 Fenrir. Honestly, the lower count does work. You don't want to see multiple Rise Hearts. They are bricky. You never actually want to see more than 1 Ogre. The Ogre just scout the prep and then the prep and the Big Bang. Obviously, both of the cards are insane. This is like a secondary birth. If you're playing a Rise Heart Pass, like the way I like to play the deck, I think my technical play is very, very good. So I can end on like the smaller end board with like more follow-up because I can play around things better. I don't want to like go for the 5-zone log, play into hand traps. I want to make as many cards in my opponent's hand dead as possible, and then doing Dryden Pass does that. The setup you usually want to do is going to be the Rise Hearts. Ideally, you want to have a prep in the graveyard and a Scareclaw Kashtira in hand, because people are playing Kaijus now. Because most people are playing the Raw Sphere mode, the Lava Golem, all the stuff like that. So if you get like Kaiju for this, you can still Scareclaw Kashtira, banish this, then you're gonna prep, bring it back out. Just see level the Rise Heart going, it starts getting material, starts getting a momentum and everything, it starts going hard for you. Helps you out in the long run, and then as long as your technical play is really good with this deck, you can just end on that every single time and be perfectly fine. So I believe it's only just the 9 Kashtira monsters, honestly. Unless you want to consider these Kashtira monsters, but yeah, this is the 9 monster lineup. And then for the only hand traps in my deck, I just played 3 Ash Blossom. I didn't play against any Branded today, but I was ready because this is the 1 card that beats Branded outright. Branded Fusion, if you have this, you have a chance to go in the game. But even then, if they have Cross Out, if they have a bunch of other cards they're playing Call By and stuff, you know, you have a lot of different options to stop us now. So, Branded's scary. Thankfully, I didn't play any today. So it's literally only 12 monsters in the whole deck. Next, we have the Searchers, 4 field spells. Self-explanatory. The boost on this is crazy. A lot of times when you're just going second, if you happen to just open up like a Unicorn Fenrir, you can just Theosis. If you have like a Birth in hand already, or they're right over here. Birth, Theosis, summon Scareclaw in defense mode, and just attack for a game like this with the planet face up. Just short and simple, make it sweet. Don't do anything fancy. You don't gotta flash and bling yourself out with this deck. Honestly, just short and simple to the point wins the game. So 4 of these, or 3 whatever. 3 Birth, 3 Theosis. I really want to cut one of these cards to 2. I don't know which one. I don't think it's correct. I mean, I think it's not correct, but I want to for spacious reasons. They are bricky sometimes. Again, there's a low monster count in here, so if you draw a couple of these without any monsters, you're kind of like SOL. I do not want that to happen, but you also want to see these also as extenders, because if you draw 1 monster plus any of these, you're probably winning the game too. So it's that weird, like, controversial, like, good angel, bad angel, what you want to do. But honestly, I think the 6 right here is correct. For the board breakers, kinda, if you want to call them board breakers, I don't play really hand traps too much because hand traps don't really do a lot. Every time you hand trap like a unicorn, you're losing your extra deck. If you have to hand trap a Fenrir into like a board they're breaking into, you have to banish a card. So hand traps really aren't the move right now, I don't think so. Not in the main deck, at least. There's some matchups where they're good, some matchups where they're bad. Like last round, I played against Mathmech, a deck that is very unfamiliar to me. But hand traps do like excel versus them. So I side more hand traps for that matchups such as those. Honestly, 6 books is correct. These are the best cards of the deck. You're playing the mirror match. I think I played 6 or 7 mirror matches today. And then these cards obviously came in hot. They're very good. Versus the Rise Hard boards, if they only just do the 3-zone lock with the Diablos, it's also good. So there's a lot of utility for these. These are like turn skips, honestly, and these are great. We're not changing these for the world. These 6 books are staying in the deck. God card, Forbidden Lance. Card's crazy. Card's absolutely insane. You're going into boards. You're getting impermed. You're doing anything. Damage step battles that happen after these. If you're forced to eclipse, I just got a feature match earlier where I had to eclipse their board for 2 monsters. I had a Baron up. My Baron had not been used as negate yet, so I activated Eclipse. He thought he's not going to ash it because I have a Baron up still. I lanced it, so my Baron stays face up still, so I still have my negate for when his follow-up plays wanted to go on, and it was just crazy. I think this card is a staple. This is a 3-of. This card has to be in everyone's deck and to play Kashtira. Card is crazy. It's old school tech, good. Dino Rabbit, it's been good forever, so I love this thing. Shout out Alex Cancel, Dom Couch, their Vegas team for playing this and inspiring me to play these cards too. Card's awesome. Book's already gone. Next, it's going to be 3 Prosperity and then 2 Desires. Desire's a little different, but you want to ash bait as much as possible. And honestly, if you activate one of these Desires first, it gets ashed. You do not draw a card this turn, you can still Prosperity afterwards. So if you draw 2 of them, it's really not that bad. You want consistency cards too. So ideally, if you're playing a 40 card deck, which we are, you're going to see one in every single hand. And then seeing one of these digs you deeper. I do play the extra deck monsters too to go along with it. So they're not even dead cards. So you're playing not bricks in your extra deck too. So they give you utility, they give you everything. This card is amazing. This card's also great. If you happen to banish anything off of this, you have a Rise Heart 2 afterwards. So you can just equip whatever you have face down. There were a couple matches today where I made the Rise Heart play. My Desires, banished like a Big Bang. I'm like, oh, Big Bang, equip underneath it. Boom. Instant value. This deck is just advantageous. So you're just playing, again, back and forth mid-range Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love that. I think it's the best way to play it. Also, again, I've been over these already. Big Bang and Prep. You take this out going second. Some people say you can keep it in. I don't like it. Because if you're going into a board and you have this, what are you really going to do? Big Bang's kind of necessary to like pick apart boards sometimes. And Big Bang's an equalizer. If they have a token, they're forced to keep it up because game mechanic, you know, all the good stuff like that. I think Big Bang is crazy. I keep this in every matchup. People say they're mad drawing it. I love drawing this card. I think this card's a win condition. Because if you just make a Shangri-La, if you make an Rise Heart and have this, it's just another interruption. Plus you get more materials on your Rise Heart. It gets banished, effect, detach the Fender, add it back to your hand, special. It does so much. And then honestly, just I threw in 2 Evenlies as well. Evenly is good. I did win a lot of dice rolls today, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I went second, I never saw this card either going game 1. So I really was like iffy. I think the best thing I did was like set it once with an Rise Heart, and then he had like 3 monsters on the board when he beat it, evenly him, and that was about it. So it's not bad. I would keep it at 2, maybe 3, honestly. It's like the Labyrinth theory where you kind of want to play it like main deck, but you don't want to play it main deck, but it's just worth playing it because like you can't control your variance on your rolls, so you really want to like have this more times than not. So it's worth being in your deck.
What's the bank count, man?
40 count, 100%.
Yes.
40 count, Desires, Prosperity, it's perfect. Love it. Extra deck, the 2 Zeus, honestly, has to be done. Card's good. If they're going to pick apart your extra deck, they have to banish one of these. You still have another one to follow up. 2 Rise Heart. I think 3 is correct. 3 is 100% correct. It never came up today, but I know that there are certain like builds that like go after your extra deck 100%, and you just want to have one of these to follow up. So I need to find room for this. I think the card I'm cutting is this and putting to the sideboard somewhere. It comes up because there's some times where you don't have the field spell. They're like 400, 500 life points. You make this, they have 1 action before they die. The only thing about this card, it kind of sucks. It says the card has to resolve. So like if you like Book of Moon this and it's not facing on the field anymore, it didn't resolve first, so you don't get the burn. So it's kind of unfortunate. Like it doesn't happen like what's the branded monster? Masquerade. So Masquerade happens immediately. This has to resolve first. That's why it's kind of not the greatest. I would put it in the side somewhere, but we'll figure that out later. Diablos. Honestly, I never made this all day. I never went for the 5 zone lock, but it's there kind of like if the grind game happens, if we're playing the mirror match, the Prosperity, you want to banish some cards, go for a deck out strat. You want to have options. And the extra deck is kind of open, kind of not. So that's just something I'm working on right now too. Dark Arm, honestly, crazy. If you can make this with a Rise Heart, you get like extra materials on it. Banish your Theosis from the graveyard, banish your Big Bang from the grave when it goes there. This card does it all. You can attack first, make a pop main phase 2, then overlay with another material or for a Zeus. This card's overall just crazy, super good, love it to death. I do want a Draco Sack in here too to play against like skill drain. I have not played Labyrinth today either, but I have been testing, needed a Draco Sack, but again, that's something I gotta figure out too. But with the Books and Lances, honestly, it's really not that bad to play around it, but you still rather have it than not a lot of the times. Double Big Eye, this is a last minute decision I made. I was playing 1 for a while and then just playing the Draco Sack instead, but I ended up just playing the second one. It was crazy. Double Shangri-Era. It's for the zone lock if I need to do it against like certain matchups. Baron, Garura, Elder, and then Infinitrack. Baron for whenever you get like Veilered on your Unicorn, you summon it. An Ash Blossom or like one of the bells in the side deck. Synchro for Baron, it's a negate still. You can bounce it back during the standby phase after like their turn, summon back Unicorn and be fine. Prosperity targets, you usually want to equip this one first, so whenever your Rise Heart dies, you get a draw card. I like Intis as well over the Skull Knight and the Wagon, whatever it is, just because it's popping immediately. So like if I'm trying to like not die during their turn when they kaiju me, I can like pop their board if they're like going into it, if it's like after turn 1. You have to play Goliath as well for the, what is that matchup? Ruining matchup. Because they have to waste 2 cards instead of 1 to get rid of it. So like if you like, they have to do the one that negates first, then pop it afterwards, and it's crazy. So it's a 15 card extra deck, obviously. Yeah, so Droll and Lockbird. I think this is better than D-Shifter. This covers more matchups. Our locals over here is very area filled with Drytron, so we have to have this to stop them. This card I think is very good in the mirror match. People might disagree with me, but I think if you can just like, if they go Terraforming, search, activate Droll, their turn passes a lot of the time. If they go Field Spell, search for something, Droll, pass a lot of the time. Or they can't do the Rise Heart play. So I think Droll covers a lot more options, and I do like it in the mirror match. Bell, this was for Expulsion. Honestly, for the Gimme Puppet combo, whatever. But also, it came up last round against Math Mech. I hit the trap card and won the game. So this card is multi-purpose. It's good versus Labyrinth too, so that's a big welcome. I think this card's stable, pretty good in the side deck. Change of Heart, God card in the mirror match. I've always loved this card. I've always wanted to play it. I'm a Flunder player, as you can say. If one can't, two can. You know what I'm saying? The two can beanie. Shout out AJ for this one. Econ's crazy. If you watched the feature match I played in earlier, I did a really cool play where I needed to get my monster off the board. So I like Fenrir attacked a monster, had to get banished or marked for banishment. Econ Tribute, take the monster marked for banishment, banish it face down, and then summon my Unicorn to kill him for that turn. Or to make a good board. It was crazy. Again, technical play matters a lot in this deck. Duster Lightning Storm, and then just evenly while we're at it, just 3 blowout cards for like Labyrinth for any other matchup. Depending on what like version of like the mirror match you're playing, you can side these in. Depends on personal preference. And then the last card's D Barrier for whenever you go first. The way you're supposed to use this card is wait for them to make an exceed first, then flip it. If you don't do that, then you're kind of just locking them. Because like, if we're being honest, if I'm staring down this board, I don't want to do anything. This is kind of scary because this is a banishment extra deck. Look at my stack, my deck. I don't like that. I'd rather you force them to make some kind of shitty exceed. So like a Big Eye, activate effect, detach. Oh, chain D Barrier. Now you're locked into this. Now you only have 1 interrupt instead of multiple. Yeah. So I think using this as like kind of like an Imperm S card that also stops you afterwards is really good. Okay. So that was the deck. Honestly, I loved it. I would play this relatively close to the same. I love this deck to death. It's literally Flu 2.0 in my opinion. Yeah. As you know, I'm the Flu Goo guy. I like that deck a lot. And then just sitting on one monster, like playing back and forth Yu-Gi-Oh, that's my favorite thing to play. I like interaction. I know Rise Heart's a Macrocosmos, kind of like unfair, but I love this deck to death. This deck's crazy. Performed very well today. Shout out Robert who beat me today. He's a great player, good. And shout out Jesse, Zach, all the people. If I forgot shout outs, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm tired right now. Because it's been a grueling 10-hour, how long I got here at 8 in the morning. It's 11 o'clock now, so.
Jeez, that's what's up. Yo, Tamez, congrats again on making a top cut, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Bortle out.